I never believed tea plantations could be haunted. People always said strange things happened there after sunset, that spirits walked between the rows of bushes, that travelers heard footsteps beside them, that some never returned. I laughed at those stories, until one night, I had to drive through one. It was around 11:45 p.m. when my car entered the narrow road cutting through the tea plantation. No houses, no shops, no lights. Only endless rows of dark tea bushes on both sides, swaying slightly in the wind like silent watchers. The moon was thin and pale, barely lighting the path ahead. I turned down the music. Somehow, silence felt safer than sound. The road was straight, but my heart was not. That was when I saw her. An old woman standing alone by the roadside. She wore a long, faded coat, a woolen scarf, and old leather boots. Her hair was long and uncombed, covering half her face. Her back was bent, like she carried the weight of many years. She raised her hand slowly, signaling for a lift. I hesitated. Who stands in a tea plantation at midnight? Still, she looked helpless. And something inside me said, "Stop." I slowed the car. As my headlights fell fully on her, I noticed something strange. Her feet were hidden in shadow, but her hands were clearly visible. One hand held the edge of her coat, the other hung by her side. And that was when I saw it. Her hand was not human. It was long and dark. The fingers were thick and stiff. The skin looked rough and shiny. It looked exactly like a horse's leg. My breath stopped. My eyes stayed locked on it. For a few seconds, the world felt frozen. Then she lifted her head. Her face was old, wrinkled, but her eyes, they were no longer normal. They slowly turned red, like burning coal. She stared straight at me. Her mouth opened, but no words came out, only a low, animal-like growl. I slammed the accelerator. The car shot forward. In the rearview mirror, I saw her standing still, her head tilted unnaturally, watching me disappear into the darkness. My hands shook on the steering wheel. My chest felt tight. I told myself, "It's stress. You imagined it." But deep inside, I knew I hadn't. After about 10 minutes, I saw someone else on the roadside, an old man this time. He stood near a broken fence post, leaning on a wooden stick. Relief washed over me. A human, a real one. I slowed down and stopped. He came closer to my window. His face looked normal. Tired eyes, gray beard, simple clothes.
"Why are you driving so fast at night?" he asked.
My voice trembled. "Sir, I saw an old woman back there. Her hands, they looked like a horse's leg, and her eyes turned red when I stared." The old man went silent. For a few seconds, he didn't move. Then he said softly, "Did her hand look like this?" He raised his hand. The wooden stick fell from his grip. I screamed. His hand was the same, long, dark, hard. A horse's leg with fingers shaped like hooves. I tried to open the door, but my hands wouldn't obey me. The old man smiled. Not kindly, not sadly, but in a way that felt wrong. "You should not look at their hands," he said. "You should not look at their eyes." Slowly, his eyes began to glow. Red, exactly like hers. "They wait for someone to stop," he whispered. "And when you notice, they notice you back." I turned the key. The engine roared. I didn't look back. I drove faster than I ever had before. Branches brushed the car windows. Shadows ran beside me. I felt like something was following me through the tea bushes. When I finally reached the highway, I didn't stop. I didn't slow down. I drove straight home. That night, I couldn't sleep. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw red eyes in the dark. The next day, I asked a tea plantation worker about it. His face turned pale. He said, "Those are not people. They appear as old men and women. If you see their real hands or feet, they show you their true form." "Why?" I asked. He said quietly, Because once you recognize them, they can recognize you. I never drove through that tea plantation again, but sometimes, late at night, when I am alone on the road, I see someone standing in the distance, raising a hand for a lift, and I never stop, because I know, if I look too closely, I might see a horse's leg again, and red eyes waiting for me. I was driving through the desert highway late at night. It was the kind of road where even the GPS seemed confused, long, empty, and surrounded by nothing but sand and dead bushes. It was 12:17 a.m. The sky was full of stars, and the moon made the road look pale and endless. I had been driving for hours, trying to reach the next town before morning. That's when I saw him. A man standing near a broken road sign. He was wearing a dark jacket and jeans. One hand was raised, asking for a lift. No car, no building, just him and the desert. I slowed down. My first thought was, why is someone walking here at this hour? But he looked tired and alone. I stopped. He came closer to my window. "Thank you," he said in a low voice. "My car broke down." His voice sounded normal. Too normal. I unlocked the passenger door. He sat beside me. Cold air rushed in with him. "Where are you headed?" I asked. "Anywhere," he replied. "Just away from here." I started driving. For a while, we were silent. Then something strange caught my eye. The moonlight was bright. My car had a clear shadow on the road. The bushes had shadows too, but he didn't. His body reflected light, but no shadow fell from him. I tried not to stare. I told myself it was the angle. Then he spoke. "Do you see them too?" he asked. "See who?" I said. "The ones that stand on roads at night." My grip tightened on the steering wheel. "What do you mean?" "They pretend to be people," he said softly. "They wait for drivers to feel sorry for them." I glanced at him. His face looked normal, but his eyes didn't blink. Not once. "You're joking, right?" I said. He slowly turned his head toward me. "No," he said. "They don't have shadows either." A chill ran through my spine. I looked again at the road. His shadow was still missing. "Why are you telling me this?" I asked. He smiled, a little too wide. "Because you already stopped for one." My heart pounded. "You mean you?" He didn't answer. Instead, he pointed ahead. "Stop the car." "I'm not stopping," I said. "Stop the car," he repeated. His voice was louder now. I pressed the accelerator. The speed meter crossed 80. The desert wind screamed against the windows. He turned his head slowly toward me. That's when I saw his face clearly. His skin was pale, too pale, and his eyes, they reflected no light at all, just black, like empty holes. "You shouldn't have let me in," he said. The car radio suddenly turned on by itself. Static filled the car. Whispers came through it. Not voices, breathing. I slammed the brakes. The car skidded. Everything went silent. When I looked to the passenger seat, it was empty. The door was still closed. No sound of it opening, no sound of him leaving. Just gone. I sat there shaking. I restarted the engine and drove, faster. I didn't stop until I reached a gas station near a small town. The lights felt unreal. People felt unreal. I told the cashier what happened. He stared at me. Then he asked, "Did he have a shadow?" I froze. "No," I said. The man swallowed hard. "They're called road watchers," he said. "They can't go far from the highways." "What do they do?" I asked. "They look for drivers who feel sorry," he said. "If you take them in, they ride until you stop breathing." I left immediately. I never drove that road again. But sometimes, when I drive at night, I see a man standing near a signboard, raising his hand. And I always check one thing: the ground. Because if he has no shadow, I don't stop.
The bus station was almost empty when I arrived. Only one bus remained, parked under a flickering streetlight. Its destination board read, Greywater, 12:40 a.m. I hesitated. I had never heard of a town called Greywater, but it was the only bus going in my direction, and my phone battery was dying. So I bought a ticket. The driver didn't look at me when I boarded. He just tore the ticket and pointed inside. The bus smelled old, not dirty, just forgotten. There were only 4 passengers: a woman in a black coat near the front, a teenage boy with headphones, an old man holding a briefcase, and me. The doors closed with a heavy hiss. The bus pulled out of the station and onto the highway. At first, everything felt normal, but after 20 minutes, I realized something strange. We hadn't passed a single car. No headlights, no signs, no towns, only trees. Tall, dark trees on both sides of the road. I checked Google Maps. No signal. Then I noticed the windows. They weren't reflecting the inside of the bus. They were dark, like mirrors that showed nothing. I leaned closer. Outside, there was no road, just forest, endless forest. The woman in the black coat suddenly spoke. "This bus doesn't stop where you think it will." Her voice was calm, too calm. "What do you mean?" I asked. She turned slightly. Her face was pale, and her eyes looked tired, like she hadn't slept in years. "It goes where you shouldn't have gone," she said. The teenage boy laughed. "Creepy joke," he said, pulling off one earphone. The old man with the briefcase cleared his throat. "I've been on this bus before," he said. We all looked at him. "5 years ago," he continued, "my wife got on this bus. She never came back." The bus suddenly slowed. The trees opened into a small clearing. A wooden sign stood by the road. "Welcome to Greywater." The bus stopped. The doors opened. Cold air rushed in. Outside, there were no buildings, only fog. Thick white fog covering everything. The driver finally spoke. "Next stop," he said. The teenage boy stood up. "Guess this is it," he said jokingly. He stepped off the bus. The fog swallowed him instantly. We waited. 10 seconds passed, then 20. "Did he just vanish?" I whispered. The woman in the black coat stood. "Don't follow him," she said. But the old man stood too. "That's my town. My wife went in there." He stepped off the bus. The fog closed behind him. The doors shut. The engine started. "Wait!" I shouted. The woman grabbed my arm. "Don't," she said. "Greywater doesn't give people back." "What is Greywater?" I asked. She finally looked at me fully. "It's a place that looks like a town," she said, "but it's only a mouth." The bus began to move again. I turned to look out the back window. Through the fog, I saw something standing where the sign had been. Not a person, not an animal, something tall and thin, and the fog wasn't moving around it, it was moving into it, like it was breathing. I screamed. The woman closed her eyes. "It feeds on travelers who don't belong anywhere," she quietly said. "People who are lost, running, alone." My chest tightened. "That's me," I whispered. The bus sped up. The trees returned. The fog disappeared. The windows looked normal again. After another 10 minutes, the bus slowed. Lights appeared ahead. A normal town, a normal road. The bus stopped. "Last stop," the driver said. I ran off without looking back. I never saw the woman again. 3 weeks later, I searched for Greywater online. No such town exists. But I found something else. A local legend. The last bus. It only appears after midnight. It only carries lost people. And it only stops once, somewhere it shouldn't. Now, every night when I hear a bus outside, I check the time, because if it's after 12:40, I don't look out the window.